today I've got a great workshop for you. We're going to talk about when it's time for a new device. You see, I get a lot of questions from my clients about when and what should they replace a certain device with. And I want to teach you the ins and outs here today on this video. But first, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And while I do that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Abby Ritchie. I'm the founder and CEO of Senior Savvy. I started this company 4 years ago. It's truly the marriage of two things I love, which is helping older adults and all things tech. Now, this workshop is about when it's time for a new device. And first, I just want to say, well done. I'm so proud of you for being here today and for learning something new. I know firsthand what a challenge it can be just to get onto YouTube or take a new class. And so I applaud you. Now, in the past year, I want to know, did you purchase a new device? And if so, what are you planning on upgrading this year? But first, let me give you the roadmap for today. We're going to talk about when is it time for a new device, what to buy, where to buy, and the best time of year. You see, so many of us have been upgrading our devices in the past 2 years. We're home more, we're wanting to connect with family and friends using technology, and the desire to connect is so strong that a lot of us have had to upgrade our devices. They may have been working perfectly well until you realize your webcam wasn't working, right? Or your audio wasn't working. And we're doing so much more streaming now than we were a couple of years ago. Well, I want to share with you the telltale signs of when it's time. First off, if your battery is dying on you before brunch, it's time for a new device. In the olden days, we may have replaced the battery, but we don't do that anymore because the cost of the replacement of the battery is almost equal to an entry-level new device. And Apple will pretty much encourage you away from that option. So if your battery is dying before noon, it's most likely time for a new device. If your screen is shattered, it's time for a new device. Yes, you can go ahead and get it replaced, but like the battery costs, at $150 for a screen replacement, you're $150 closer to getting a new device. So something to consider. However, you can always go ahead and put a glass sheet protector on your device, and this will protect your investment in the long run. If your mic isn't working, guess what? It's time for a new device. You need this mic to work so people can hear you clearly and easily. There's nothing more frustrating than someone not being able to hear you over the phone. And typically it's a sign of wear and usage, or perhaps you've dropped your phone many times. That can also be a reason why your mic isn't working. If your cell phone is super slow, that is an indication that there's a root problem there, something you're going to have to see a specialist for. Typically, it means that there's deeper issues, and so you will need to take it in and have that looked at. If the volume buttons are not working, oh, what a pain. You may need a new cell phone. Yeah, you can go ahead and get it looked at. You can use a spray air duster to try to get some dust out of there. You can even try to use the control center to amp up your volume, but this is one of those signs that it's time for a new device. If your apps crash or they don't work at all, chances are it's time for a new device. This is a good indication that the short-term memory of your phone is running low, and that's something you cannot upgrade. If your phone is overheating on you, if it's hot all the time, this is an indication that the battery is starting to expand and it's creating like a data issue. Your phone is getting hot, it's hard to touch it. it's time to consider a new device. If your device is unable to upgrade, if you cannot update your operating system, chances are it's time for a new device. And you want to be able to update your operating system because within every update, there are security patches, and you want those. If you're constantly running out of storage space, chances are it's time for a new device. And if your cell phone, your trusty cell phone, keeps shutting down randomly, which means you can't make the emergency phone call when you need it, it's time for a new device. Now let's talk about what you should use to replace it. Now, here are some images of some new things. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to stick to the basics, but I'm also going to include some tips. If you're a Samsung lover, you love your Android device, stick with Samsung. They have a really clear operating system, clear navigation. Go with what you know, okay? I highly encourage you to stick with a Samsung, stick with a Google, and leave the other ones behind. You will end up paying one way or another when you buy a cheaper phone. You can always go for last year's Samsung and you'll still be in good shape. If you're an Apple lover, again, go with what you know. And you can, if you love having a home button on your device, get the Apple SE. You will always have that central point of navigation. If you're familiar with the swipe up technology, go for something big. The bigger, the better. You're going to be so much more comfortable with a larger screen. If you're a flip phone lover, and you know what, there's no shame in that, I want you to choose this particular brand. Why? It's superior to the other flip phones. It has great big buttons. It has an amplified speaker. It has a long-lasting battery. I love it. It's so easy to use. And so this phone, it's called the Jitterbug Flip 2, is available at Best Buy. When it comes to replacing your tablet, and so many of us are using tablets more and more often, I want you to, again, go with what you know, okay? So if you love Samsung, you're going to be really comfortable with an Android device like this Lenovo. You don't have to get all the bells and whistles with the extra gigabytes. You're just using it to, play games, right? I know you. And or check your email. So you can save on that whenever you're choosing a new device. If you love your Apple and you need to replace your iPad and you want to stick with a home button, Apple still makes one that has the home button. And I just say go with it. You're going to be so much happier with that navigation. And again, you don't need all the storage, bells and whistles. You can go low on that. If you're comfortable using a Fire tablet, they have a new 10-inch screen, and my clients tend to love that. When you're upgrading your laptop or computer, I want you to think about which one you need, because here's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of my clients upgrade a desktop to a laptop, and you know what? They feel cramped because the laptop is obviously smaller. If you need to add customization to your device, like you need a larger keyboard, you want to use an external mouse, you just want a bigger screen, go big, all right? Go for the desktop. Chances are, and a lot of my students are not traveling with a device. It's pretty much stationary. And when it's stationary, then is a good time to get a desktop model. You're going to get a great big screen. It's going to be so much easier for you to use. So go big, stick with what you know, and keep your options simple. If you're going to get a new MacBook is now making a 15-inch screen. People love it. I highly encourage you to go bigger when you can. Same with the PC. Now you can get a bigger screen, but go lower on your gigabytes. That's what's going to serve you. It won't serve your grandson, but it will serve you because you're not a data hog. You're not going to be making movies and downloading your whole collection of music on your laptop. All right. There's also another device. It's called the Telekin. I love it. It makes things really easy for you to use. And if you're interested in finding out more, I want you to reach out to me and I'll send you a link. okay? So the Telekin, by the way, is great for when things start to get, a little bit too complicated for mom, okay? So here's what I want to share with you now, where to buy. And one of my first recommendations is to go to the Apple Store. There are people there who can help you. There's great service. There's a huge selection of inventory. So I always recommend you go someplace where you can buy in person, so you can touch them, you can experience it, you can see what the size is in person. But you may also want to consider Best Buy, because Best Buy has experts on the floor that can help you with PC, with Apple. They've got a massive selection and a lot of really good open box specials. So I would encourage you always to go with Best Buy, go with Apple, go with a store that has customer service. You're going to be so much happier. But where should you not buy? And I'll tell you this, guys, time and time again, when I'm working with people and their devices are glitchy, they're awkward, they're unusual, they're doing weird things, I will ask people, where did you buy this? And they'll say, Home Shopping Network, or they'll say QVC. Okay, and really have nothing against either of them, but it's not the place for you to buy your new computer, okay? The best time of year to buy these devices, according to Consumer Reports, when it comes to cell phones, is sort of staggered out throughout the year: February, September, December. When it comes to tablets, February, August, November, and December. And computers typically in the fall. So if you're looking for a new device, I would encourage you to wait to the fall. That's when you're going to get the very best specials. Oh, I'm so proud of you. If I was there with you right now, I'd give you a cookie, because you've learned something new today. And I love being in the presence of lifelong learners. I always am putting new information on my Facebook page, as well as my YouTube channel. And you can always reach out to me at any time. I'm a real life person. I'll probably even answer the phone and help you. It is my honor and it's a privilege to serve you today. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining